Guess what time it is? The Idiot on the Writer's Block Expert Book Recommendations Volume 2. Hi, I'm Marcus, and I'm the Idiot on the Writer's Block. If this is your first time to the channel, I, the Idiot, ask experts for tips on how to write, publish, and promote my first fiction novel, Atticus the Mighty. Previous videos have included questions such as how to write a great start, how to write a great protagonist, how to write a great antagonist, and many, many more. You can check all of those videos in this playlist right here. Now, I've been asking our experts for recommendations on books that I should read. Now, I've already done Volume 1 with authors such as Meg Latour, Courtsia Newland, and Sacha Black. In Volume 2, we're going to have Kirsty Eyre, the writer of Cowgirl, Mark Pearson, the writer of such books as Murder Club, Blood Work, and Hard Evidence, and Irenosen Okojie, writer of such books as Nudibranch, Butterfly Fish, and Speak Gigantula. Here are the books that these experts recommend.
Okay, so the authors that I consider to be the pinnacle of comedy writing are probably Nora Ephron. Do you know Nora Ephron? She wrote When Harry Met Sally in terms of a film, but has gone on to write all sorts of brilliant novels. She's absolutely great. I also love David Nicholls. I've bought every single one of David Nicholls' books. I think I, like lots of people, started with One Day and then went and looked at his back catalogue, and I read The Understudy and Starter for 10. They're all brilliantly written. I don't know whether you know Starter for 10, but it's a very much coming of age book, and it's got a real comic tone to it. So David Nicholls is one of my heroes. But I absolutely love Caitlin Moran. So for a while I was saying Caitlin Moran because that's how I thought you said it, but I've heard her interview quite a lot of times. I just think that she's got such brilliant things to say as well as the way that she tells them, and she's just naturally very funny and very intelligent. So when I read her stuff, and also Dolly Alderton in terms of a journalist, very funny as well, to the point where when I read their stuff I get a little bit intimidated. But I think it's really important to read within the genre that you're writing so that you understand what's out there, what works, what doesn't. It can only make your craft stronger. So I'm a big fan of reading comedy. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic comedy. Another big favourite of mine is Maria Semple's Where Do You Go, Bernadette? I don't know whether you've heard of it. I know they made it into a film, but I haven't seen the film. And this one has got, she's very waspy, the main character. I just think she's brilliant. I won't give you any spoilers, but it's a really funny one.
I tell you I love, who's great, artistic writing, great story, great characters, great antagonists, great protagonists. The Dave Robicheaux series by, my brain's gone dead, it's American writer. Most of the crime I love is American crime. I apologise to the great British nation, but I love the American stuff. Well, we could go Raymond Chandler, we could say The Big Sleep, but I'm going to go with the Dave Robicheaux series by, oh God, that's terrible, isn't it? You put me right on the spot and I've failed. What's his name? Dave Robicheaux. Is the detective, and he's got a great name as well. It's got 3 bits to it. Who writes the Dave Robicheaux series? James Lee Burke. What did I tell you? 3 bits to it. He's absolutely my all-time favourite crime writer. I don't know his name, but he's a genius.
Oh my God, there's so many. Anything by Toni Morrison, in fact, just read her whole catalogue of books. We're so lucky that a writer like her existed, and what she does with language and documenting the Black American experience is absolutely phenomenal. So read Toni Morrison. I would say Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart as well is up there as one of my favourite books. Atwood is a hero of mine, Margaret Atwood. She's incredible. I love her work, especially some of her earlier books. I would recommend her. Who else? Aldous Huxley, if you want something a bit more experimental, slightly more sci-fi-ish, I would recommend him as well. And I mentioned the short story collection by Dennis Johnson earlier for short story writers and lovers. If you haven't picked up his collection, it's mind-blowing. I still think it's the best collection I've ever read, and I've read many short story collections, and it's also the first collection I ever read. It's still the best one. So he's a master, so I would go to him. The other person I would recommend, what else would I recommend? Oh, there's so many. Who else would be good? So I would say Chikozie Obioma. He's a Nigerian writer. He's young, but what he's doing as a writer is absolutely phenomenal. In fact, he's a freak of nature because he's super young and he's insanely gifted. So if you haven't picked up his books, check out The Fisherman, which was shortlisted for the Booker. Chikozie, I should say, is a friend of mine, but this is what's freakishly amazing about what he's done. So he's written 2 novels. He's very young, and both of those books have been shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize. So The Fisherman was his first novel, and then An Orchestra of Minorities is his most recent novel. He's a phenomenal writer. Of course, I have to talk about the incredible Bernardine Evaristo, and just her body of work is superb. So Girl, Woman, Other is obviously the Booker Prize winning novel, and she's amazing and just a real inspiration. So check out her catalogue of books as well. There's so many I could mention, but I'm going to leave it at those guys for now.
And there you have it, Expert Book Recommendations Volume 2. Thank you very much to Kirsty Eyre, Mark Pearson, and Irenosen Okojie. You can check in the description to this video for links to their work. But what did you think of their recommendations? Do you agree or disagree? Leave your opinions in the comments to this video. And if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to get more tips on how to write, publish, and promote your fiction novel. I'm Marcus, and I'll see you next time.